idea.
So to the just the inner materialist in my brain now is saying, but that's a confusion of facts and values. But what I'm assuming that you would say back, and correct me and tell me what you would say back. Even as a materialist scientist, you yourself are a human participating in this human drama. You're
right, and and we
what's
would
embedded in what.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. That's right, because that's the question. Objective reality, mythology. One proposition. Mythology, objective reality. Another proposition. That's my proposition. It's like, this is way deeper than this. It's incomparably deeper. Now, that doesn't mean this isn't deep. It's deep, but it's sterile. And that's dangerous. And then when you forget which is embedded in which, then you make mistakes. It's like, yeah, well, why not cross Ebola with smallpox? Well, that's a good question. Why not do it? Well, you know, a rationalist would say, well, I'm capable of making that judgment. Okay, well, let's really specify that. What exactly do you mean that you're capable of making that judgment? Because again, with Dawkins and his ilk, you know, they make the claim that they can have their cake and eat it too. So they can have all the benefits of an evolved morality, which is basically a Judeo-Christian morality in the West, and they can say, well, yeah, but we don't have to accept any of the metaphysical presumptions. It's like, says who? Like, yeah, you could be right, but why would you assume that you are? So maybe this is Nietzsche's point, maybe the metaphysical presuppositions are absolutely necessary. So,
and the question then is, as understood by the millennia-old individuals or cultures that gave birth to them, or reinterpreted as pre-conscious symbology? You see what I'm saying?
No, not exactly. You have to specify that more.
Right, because then Dawkins might say, or I'll try not to pick on him. But then the materialist, positivist, rationalist might say, okay, but what does it mean to accept that mythology or to accept the metaphysics? Does it mean that I have to believe that there's this omnipresent, sadistic God who pits nations against each other and orders you to murder your neighboring tribe? Or rather, is it necessary to accept that the metaphysical background or the substrate, if you will, as understood now, as
symbolic
imagery from a culture that had no other means of articulating it? So that, because then they might say, well, sure, I can accept that it had some value in its time and place, but so.
But okay, that's where the problem would start for me. It's still that time and place.